Hello, welcome to Learn Test Automation. Today we are going to see how BDD can be implemented with API testing using RestSharp and SpecFlow. First, let us understand what is BDD. Behavior-driven development is a software development process, which focus on how an application should behave from the end user's perspective. The goal of implementing BDD testing is to improve collaboration between stakeholders, and the BDD testing framework which we can use are Cucumber, SpecFlow. As we are using .NET, we'll go with SpecFlow. Let us go to our Visual Studio. So for installation and setup purpose, we need SpecFlow NuGet packages. Okay. There is an extension also available for Visual Studio. If you want, you can install from here, but it's not mandatory. Okay. And this is the official website of SpecFlow, which says SpecFlow helps to bind automation with the feature files. All right. So let us focus on how we can get the SpecFlow in our project. Okay, so I have this my API testing framework where I have some projects. One project is unit test project, and I'm using MSTest unit test framework. Okay, based on your requirement, you can use xUnit, NUnit. All they are supported by SpecFlow. I will right click and go to manage NuGet packages, and here I can search SpecFlow, and all the options will be available here. As I have already installed for this project, okay, so I can go here, and as you can see, I have installed SpecFlow, SpecFlow.mstest, SpecFlow.tools.msbuild generation. Okay, so these three are required for our purpose. This can differ based on what you are using, like NUnit or xUnit, right? This will differ, but these three things are required, right? Let us go to our unit test project and add a folder. And I can say this is features folder where I want to keep my feature files. Okay, how to add feature files? Once you install these NuGet packages, you can right click, you can go to new, add new item. Okay, go to SpecFlow and I can see these things, right? Select this SpecFlow feature file and rename it as according to your feature. So suppose I'm using create user. Okay, so I can rename at create user dot feature. You can rename anything based on your requirement. Okay, so once you add this feature file, okay, it will automatically generate some syntaxes. Okay, the Gherkin language, this is called Gherkin language syntax. Okay, and the first thing you see the feature name, what you want to name this feature. For now, I will just remove all these things. I will remove this tag. All right, and I can modify this. I can say add a user. This is my scenario. Okay, and I can modify this uh, this way. According to my scenario, I can modify. Okay, and let's delete this and write from the beginning. Okay, so I would say given I input name, username as Mike, and I input role as QA. When I send create user request, okay, then validate user is created, right? So this is the Gherkin language we write in given and when then. Okay. So based on your scenario, you can write according to your requirement. All right. So this is one feature file with one scenario is ready. Okay. I can add multiple scenario in this feature file. Okay, which are related to this feature create user. Okay, so that's a different topic altogether for this, how we can write feature files, but for now just focus on this. Once you added this feature file, I can right click, okay, and I can say generate step definition. Okay, I can generate this. Okay, class name, whatever you want to keep, you can keep it this way, and I can click create. Right, it will ask where you want to save. Okay, so you can create a different folder for this, or you can save it under your feature file. So I will save it as it in my feature file itself, right? So you see this generated one create user steps class file. Let me open this, and this we can get, right? Let us remove all these. Okay, and we will write our code inside these methods. So this is the step definition file which bind feature file, okay, and our automation framework, right? All right. So the same uh, test which I created here, okay, I can do with now with SpecFlow with the feature file. Okay. So first, let us rename all these the variable name, which the parameter names. I mean, so here given input name, so I'm passing username here. Okay, so I can say name. Here I'm passing role, so I can say role. Okay. All right. So to utilize my framework, I need to create few things. Okay. So I want to declare a constant variable. Okay. Base URL, and I'm using this res dot in. Okay. So this will be my base URL for my API testing. Now I need some models which I have created already for my API testing framework. I need those as well. Okay, so based on requirement, I'll create. First, let us create a constructor. Okay, public create user steps. Okay, and I can pass here create user model. Okay, sorry, create user model. Okay, and this one I have to refer. Okay, so this is my request model which I have created. All right, so if you are following my videos, you already know like what I'm talking about here. Okay, so in under this project I have models which I created for request. Okay, so that I'm referring here. Okay, and before that I would say private read only create user model, right? And I can say this dot create user model, and I can use this parameter. Okay, what I'm passing into this constructor. All right. Okay, so here what I have to do, okay, so this is given input here according to the model what I am passing. I will map this the value which is coming from the feature file. Okay, so already I'm passing name here. Okay, so I will map to my model property. So I would say create user model dot, it has name, right? Okay, so I will assign name here. That's it. And same I will do with the create user model with role. Sorry, here job is, and I can say role, right? Okay, now the third step is when I send create user request. Okay, so for that what I need to do, I need to create object of my API, which, okay, and I need to pass the model, so response model actually. So create user. Okay, and I need to refer this one as well here. All right, and this will return the response. Okay, so before that, let it will be response of the RestSharp. Okay, so what I can do, I can create a global variable here, I rest response. Okay, because response will be uh, from the, we are using a RestSharp. Okay, so I want this variable with the type of rest response, right? Now I can use response. Okay, now through this object API I can call my methods. Okay, so here I'm using I've already created all these methods into my framework, so that's why it is available. Create user requires base URL, which I have already provided at the top. If you see, that is base URL. It requires endpoint, so I can pass endpoint is API users, and then it requires payload. So payload, which I'm creating here with these models, right? Create model, user model dot name and role. I can pass this here. Create user model. That will work as my payload, right? Now, once the response is returned, I need to validate, okay? Like request is successful or whatever the validation I want to add. Okay, so to handle these response, we need to serialize, deserialize, and all that I'm doing with a separate helper class that is handle content. Okay, and I can say get content, and here I can pass model that is I already created, create user. Okay, and I can pass a response here. Okay, so the response from this step, right? All right. This will return the content from the response, okay? Because the response will have various things like headers and other things. So I want only focus on content for now, okay? Now I can add validations, assertions, right? So I can say assert dot r equal, okay? So here I want to compare with already mapped, okay? As you have seen, whatever data I'm sending in from the feature file, I mapped with my model. Okay, so this will contain the data from the feature file. And now I will the compare with, this is expected, actual, which we'll get from the content, from the response, right? So I can say content dot name, right? And similar assert dot r equal, I can apply for the job as well. Okay, dot job, and same I can compare with the value returned from the response. Okay, so it means if this is successful, it means whatever the data we sent to the server, it is returning correct after the process. Let us save this. Okay, now I can build this. All right, so once you build, this test will be available in my test explorer. Okay, so if I expand this, you see here smoke test features. So whatever the feature file you have added, it will display here. Okay, and as I have add a user, okay, I can run from this test explorer. So let us run this and see what will be the result. Okay, so it's taking time, and yeah, it's running. Okay, so it failed, and we can see what are the failure, but the process is the same. How we have added a feature file, steps, and all. Okay, and here it says invalid URI. Okay, So I'm using request.in, and what could be the issue? Okay, maybe I'm missing this one / here. That could be one issue. Okay, as it says invalid URI, right? Because here I'm not using /. So that could be one reason. Let us run it again. And hopefully this time it will work fine. All right. So you see this ran successfully. Okay. And all our validations working fine for this. And same we have achieved what we have added as a test script in using MSTest. Same results we are achieving. I automated the same script using a feature file. Okay, using this. So I hope you find this interesting and you'll be able to implement SpecFlow with RestSharp. Please comment if you have any question on this. Thank you.